All right, here we go. Good morning. I would like to call to order this meeting of your Fremont County Board of County Commissioners. Welcome to all of you in the room and the millions listening around the world. Millions. First up, we are going to have an advocation by Grant Adkison from the Canyon Cowboy Church. I invite you to all rise for that, and please stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's bow together on our Creator.
Hit your button right in front there.
There you go.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Does anything get done that she doesn't help on, or I just wondered? Okay, Lord, we just give you praise this morning. Thank you for a new day, a new beginning for us right now. I pray your blessings on our community. I thank you for all of our leadership, our commissioners, and everyone, and I do pray for their protection and their blessings. Thank you for how you use folks in our community for what we need the best. We pray particularly for our law enforcement, firefighters, first responders, all those who protect and bless us. We just give you praise and thanks for who you are in our lives and what you are in our country. We pray for our country, for your intervention there as well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Grant.
Thank you, Grant. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Grantham.
Here.
County Attorney Bellis.
Present.
County Administrator Carochi.
Present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Up next is approval of today's agenda. I would like to note, under the consent agenda, we are approving item number 3 is resolution number 7 for the property located at 116 Top Notch Trail from John C. Fremont Library District into the Penrose Community Library District, and resolution number 8 for the same purpose for a property located at 1331 P Street.
Madam Chair, I would move for the approval of the agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda. Let's have a roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is our consent agenda. The only other thing I would like to mention here, we'll be talking about ratification of a chairman's signature on the declaration of local disaster regarding the 24 wildland fire, but we also are not scheduling any public hearings in the future with today's actions.
So just a correction in how you said that, we're not going to talk about the ratification, we're going to approve the ratification.
We are approving ratification, but we are
of your
talking
signature,
about
and then we'll talk about that.
the disaster declaration later in the meeting.
With that, Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Wait, what?
Can you repeat all that?
Second.
Yeah, repeat all that. It has been moved and seconded to approve today's consent agenda. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is informational and administrative topics. We will begin with staff and elected officials, turning first to Sean Sutton, our Budget and Finance Officer, who also serves us well as our Assistant County Administrator. He has a sales and use tax report for us. Good morning, Sean.
Morning all, how are we?
Morning.
Good, how are
Good.
you?
Doing well, thank you.
Well, hang on, Sean, because the best laid plans of men
Okay,
did not work here.
might get through it before he finds it, huh? There you go.
Not sure why it didn't pop, what doesn't want to pop up, but well, Sean and I opened this up this morning, and now it's not wanting to open up. I don't know, it doesn't want to open up.
Close out of it first. Close out of that tab. Then go back and open it.
All right, let's see here.
We're going to have to take him out as head of IT, he's not doing a very good job.
There,
Here we go.
it's a good thing I have Justin next to me. All right, there we go, Sean, sorry.
Thanks, Tony. Yep. So just to start off, this is the retail sales tax and auto use sales tax collection. This is my first report for 2026 because we did finalize 2025, get those numbers to you all last month. So retail sales tax is a monthly or in the month, but the auto use sales tax, I'll be reporting both January and February. So when we get to that report, just clarification there. So to begin, the retail sales tax collection report for January 2026 for general fund totaled $640,026. This is $10,627, or about 1.5% less than January of 2025. Those are also year-to-date numbers at this point. So we do sit behind budget, our 2026 budget, by $68,307. For everybody in here and the millions watching, this is pretty typical for this time of year. We always start a little bit slow here in Fremont County as the temperatures rise, although last week was a little bit different. So does our collections. So as you get kind of into April, May, June, July timeframe, historically, these collections do increase. So with the 1.5% decrease, I'm not too terribly concerned, but obviously we will, with it only being the first month, we'll continue to monitor that and give any updates as we see necessary throughout the rest of the year. Next is the auto use sales tax collection, again for general fund. This is for January, which totaled $115,415. This is $4,556 more than 2025. February totaled $90,503, which is $11,392 less than 2025. So year-to-date numbers on this one total $205,918, which is $6,636 less than 2025, and then slightly behind budget by $5,540. Next is the lodging report for January 2026, which totaled $14,550. This is $13,130 more than 2025. Those are also year-to-date numbers. And we sit about $15,450 behind our 2026 budget. I know, again, I've mentioned this a number of times. County Attorney Bellis and I also discussed it. If you all remember, in May, the state started sending these monthly. So if you look historically on this graph, it doesn't look quite right. But with the monthly collections now instead of the quarterly collections, we'll just see what that looks like here for the first quarter and continue to report those out as they come in. Next is the sheriff retail sales tax collection portion for January 2026, which totaled $426,684. This is $7,084 less than 2025, and also year-to-date numbers. Sheriff Department sits at $73,316 behind budget. Sheriff auto use sales tax collection, again, January 2026 totaled $76,943. This is $3,171 more than 2025. And then February total was $60,336, which was $7,594 less than 2025. All shaked out year to date, $137,279 collected. This is $4,423 less than 2025, and again, slightly behind budget by $4,388.
All right, thank you so much for that report, Sean. Any questions, comments?
Just our annual reminder that the behind budget is because it's based on the 12-month per month average and not on the month-to-month, January of last year compared to January this year necessarily, that kind of thing. So,
Correct.
right. But all you have to do is looking down the columns of each of the last several years, and you can see how the collections pick up naturally over the course of the tourist season, especially spring and summer. So, yep.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Anything else? Nope. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
We turn next to our county clerk, Justin Grantham, for his monthly report. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. The total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for February of this year were $1,286,089.19. Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $722,351.73. That is 56% of the total fees and is $102,926.96 more than February of last year. Year-to-date, our office is up $65,382.42. But I want to explain, because that's a huge number, right?
That is a huge number, yes.
So I actually have the numbers from last year and the numbers from this year. Specific ownership tax is up $110,000. What that means is there are a lot more newer vehicles on the road registered than there are older vehicles. Because after year 11 and further, specific ownership tax goes down to $4. So that's what that piece means. And for those of you who don't know what specific ownership tax is, we collect the money and disperse it to all the taxing entities based on the percentage of the money they collect for the mill levy. So the bigger the mill levy, the more specific ownership tax goes to those entities. So that's how that plays out. We do not keep the additional $110,000. It is pretty much sparsed out between the 30-something taxing entities that are out there that collect money. So just so everybody knows, even though my office is up, that's up on collections, not up on money to the county. That's a totally different conversation there. So with that, that is my report.
Easy for you to say. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Questions, comments? Anything for Justin? All right, let's move on to our county administrator report by Tony Carochi. our
Madam
county
Chair, I believe you have to
administrator.
approve my report.
Oh, I do believe you are correct. Thank you for that.
We don't have to.
Well, we should accept it, not approve it. So
Madam Chair, I'll move to accept the county clerk's monthly report.
Second.
it has been moved and seconded to accept the county clerk's monthly report for February of 2026. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now let's move on to the county administrator's report. We have with us this morning Mr. Tony Carochi. Good morning, Tony.
All right. Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. So a couple things this morning. We'll start with the job opportunities that we have posted in the county. In our Fremont County Department of Transportation Department, we have an operator 1, 2, and 3 posting that closes April the 23rd, 2026. And in the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, we have a detention deputy posting that closes April the 23rd, 2026. For more information about employment opportunities with Fremont County, please visit our county website at fremontcountyco.gov or call our HR department at 719-276-7409. Fremont County Cleanup, just a reminder that the Fremont County Government and Public Health Department is once again sponsoring the annual Fremont County Cleanup Campaign. Fremont County will offer a limited number of trash vouchers for free disposal of household trash, furniture, construction debris, brush, logs, leaves, and yard waste available on a first-come, first-served basis to Fremont County residents, unincorporated Fremont County residents, from March 16th through April the 30th. Trash vouchers are good for free disposal of 500 pounds at Twin Enviro Services, which we know as Canyon Landfill, at 2500 Fremont County Road 67 north of the airport. And that phone number in Penrose is 719-372-6671. Amounts of trash in excess of 500 pounds will be charged extra at $60 a ton on site. Mattresses and box springs will also be charged extra at the gate. The hours of operation for the landfill are from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Fremont County residents, unincorporated Fremont County residents may pick up a voucher from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday at the Fremont County Department of Public Health and Environment, which is located across the street from the County Administration Building at 201 North 6th Street. Proof of residency is required when obtaining a voucher. Only one voucher will be issued per household. Let's see. No extensions will be provided due to the landfill closing for high winds. Please call ahead. That is recommended if there is a lot of wind that day. And this information is posted on the front page of our Fremont County website at fremontcountyco.gov. An update on the 24 fire. The Fremont County Emergency Operations Center remains open. Residents were allowed to go back into their homes starting yesterday afternoon at 2 p.m., but they are still considered to be on a pre-evacuation status until we get an update. Repopulation, which is a fancy word for saying that residents were allowed to go back into their homes, went smooth last night. We will continue to monitor and support local needs and the fire command's needs or resource requests. Hotline calls continue to come in and messages left are being followed up with. Highway 115 is still closed with daily reevaluations and is expected to be closed until Friday. As of 10 o'clock last night, the 24 fire incident commander said the fire remained at approximately 7,385 acres. Containment increased to 24%. This is the result of the day crew's hard work, strengthening control lines around the fire. Great progress was made along Highway 115, with crews conducting mop-up, tree removal, and cleanup. Crews along the north, east, and south control lines completed interior firing operations and made good progress on mop-up along the roads. There are still firefighters, equipment, and vehicles visible along all the control lines with a heavy presence along the Highway 115 corridor. Please call the Emergency Operations Center hotline number in case you have any questions or concerns, and that number is 719-276-7421. Tonight at 6 p.m. there is a town hall meeting at the Penrose Elementary School to provide updates and answer any questions or concerns that residents may have. I want to thank all parties involved in this incident for their leadership, collaboration, and the execution that went into ensuring a successful outcome for this fire. We truly appreciate the support in protecting our Penrose community. I also can't begin to thank the numerous people who so generously donated cases of water, Gatorade, donuts, snacks, etc. for the folks on the front line doing such great work. I'm always so impressed and humbled by the generosity of our community. That's all I have, ma'am.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tony. Comments or questions for Tony?
Well, sure.
Okay.
Just on that very last point Tony was making, it was amazing over the last few days, just watching the outpouring of support from the community. I know that we probably all had individuals or groups contacting the three of us, probably in addition to those that were contacting our emergency management and our other staff. And between some of the faith-based community, faith-based organizations that were ready to, I think there was one that you sent this morning, or I can't remember, it's like,
At some point in time.
yeah, being able to offer, you know, a mobile kitchen that could feed 500 or something like
Yeah.
that people at a time.
Showers, beds.
Showers and beds, and another faith-based organization that was ready to kind of throw in similar fashion. Our communities, Canyon City was ready to jump in and help wherever they could, and obviously we didn't have that kind of a situation where it needed that, where we had, well, you know, we didn't have the level of tragedy that we could have seen as we see in other fires, but it is impressive to see our community come together the way it did very quickly, and the things that could have been brought to bear in order to help in this fire that we didn't get to see because of how things turned out and how great our crews did. And Michael Kroll, can't say enough about that guy. This is what he prepares for, and you can tell. So thank you to him. Thank you to Tony and Sean for, they were always right on top of things. And
Eric was there.
And Eric, yes. So that's it. It's just impressive seeing how things all came together.
I'll just tag in with that just a little bit. I I had the opportunity to spend some time also at the EOC over the weekend. It's very close to my house and really easy for me to stop in. And just to walk in and to see the level of engagement and seriousness that all of those folks were taking, it's really, really impressive. And we do have an incredible community here. So to our emergency management and staff, Michael Kroll, the folks that work with him, to everyone at Pathfinder Park, where we were evacuating not only people, but a lot of animals. Somebody's got to be there to take care of all of that as well. Our sheriff's office, boy, those guys, and girl and women, they were there and there and there and there and there. Just so many hours that they were all putting in. All of our first responders, they all have just done an incredible job of working this fire and taking care of it. So we really do appreciate all of the offers of help from our community. And as Commissioner Grantham said, thank God it wasn't worse than it was. I also would be very remiss if we did not thank our Department of Transportation for being up there. Boy, they were there with water and helping take care of so many other things. And we know that all we need to do is make a phone call and those folks are going to show up. And so from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you all.
Yeah, I'll just add to it, I guess.
Absolutely.
You can't believe the amount of people that are involved in an incident like this. It's people you'd never dream of. You mentioned animals at Pathfinder Park. We had about 115 animals, I think. But there were a bunch of other animals that left the evacuated area. And I heard one story yesterday that some guy had several horses, and 15 or 20 pickups and horse trailers pulled up, loaded them dudes up and took them, because that's several trips with horses, unless you got a cattle trailer, which is still several trips. So took them up to Wetmore, I believe it was. So there's a lot of people around the area that are prepared to help do these kind of things. This isn't the first time this has happened, and unfortunately it's not going to be the last time this has happened. We're very lucky where this fire actually ended up, because it could have been so much worse. There was over 50 homes evacuated and numerous more on pre-evacuation. And it got really close to Penrose, which is pretty populated in the scheme of things. So, yeah, I got to give everybody kudos for what they've done. Michael Kroll and his team out there have done a great job keeping the EOC staffed and keeping people informed. The extension service was out at the fairgrounds with taking care of the animals that were admitted in. She's in ESF 14 or something like that, part of the plan when this kind of stuff happens. So things worked out very well, considering the fire's still burning. It's not over yet. So we still have to be diligent, and it's probably, unfortunately, not the only fire we're going to have this year. It's very, very dry out there and very scary and dangerous. So we've got to be diligent. I'll get this plug in early, I guess, and not starting any fires, because the fuels are very, very dry, and you could tell by the smoke on these fires, some of that was back burning that they were doing, but the fuels are very dry, and that's what creates the smoke like it was. Part of the time the smoke was black, part of the time it was white, part of the time it was a mixture of both, and it's just the different stuff that's burning. But it's very dry and very hot, and that's going to be indicative of the whole county, not just Fort Carson, because those same trees are west of us as well. So we just have to be very careful and diligent out there. But thanks to everybody that was out there and is still out there fighting the fires. And but those other people that have taken food to these firefighters and waters, and the response of the whole community, as you mentioned earlier, is tremendous. And it's a shame that it takes us to come together, but we do come together when it happens.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on with other elected officials' reports. Did you have anything else to add?
Yeah, a couple of things. We did, as of yesterday, I think it was, going to stage 2 fire restrictions. As you may or may not know, the sheriff has the ability to move through the stages 1, 2, and 3. We are now in 2, which is a little more extreme because of the dryness of the fuels and the winds and the heat. The other day, it was pretty amazing that even in March here, that we had 90-degree temperatures, and that's what created that fire to burn so bad. The last 2 days have been very helpful, and we still have to be very diligent and careful out there, though. Stage 2 fire restrictions in unincorporated Fremont County. U.S. Forest Service is in stage 1 right now. I'm sorry, BLM is in stage 1. U.S. Forest Service their criteria is way out of whack. The whole place is going to burn down before they go into fire restrictions. But when you're out there, be careful and be diligent. They believe this fire was started by a truck that went by spitting sparks. That tells you how dry it is out there. So I was driving down the road through Canyon City the other day, so thank God there wasn't too much damage there, but 2 guys on motorcycles flicking cigarettes, and that's the kind of dumb stuff that starts these fires. So you're out and about, if you smoke, that's fine, but keep it in your vehicle, don't throw it out. There's a drought. If you didn't know, it's really dry, hot and dry out there. The other day on the news, they reported that there were 90-degree temperatures in March. And actually, it's the first 90-degree temperatures they've ever reported in March, so it's pretty crazy. But the governor has activated his drought plan, the drought task force. It's in phase 2. It's a Colorado Drought Response Plan. And I don't know all the particulars to it because I'm still learning about some of it, but they've got some very good experts out there trying to figure out how to mitigate this kind of stuff and what else is going to happen with the drought. Our snowpack in this basin is less than 50%, so it's going to be a very dry and dangerous summer, and we're just going to have to be diligent and be careful out there, so that's about all I can say. So, thanks, I'll quit.
Thank you. Commissioner Grantham?
Oh, I have lots to say. I will probably just keep it to this, I guess. The legislature is still in session, so please continue to hold on to your wallets. The state budget forecasts have come out in the last several days, as this is that time of year that the legislature is in process of putting together the state budget, and it's typically the last couple of weeks of March, first week of April, where they are working on the long bill, which is the state budget for the next fiscal year. If you've been following any of that, it has been, the numbers have changed over the course of time. Typically, they've been talking around the $700, $800 million shortfall that they're trying to bridge the gap on. And then the latest revenue forecast came out a few days ago from both the governor's OSPB office and the legislative office that handles that. There's always two competing forecasts that the legislature has to look at to make their decisions on what they're going to base their numbers on. And the numbers that they came up with a few days ago was $1.4 billion shortfall. And then it got adjusted up to 1.6, then back down to 1.5, and now it's at $1.47 billion shortfall. It's a million here, a million there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. And folks, these are shortfalls that are ultimately going to probably cost us in services here on the local level. Because when they start making cuts, a $1.5 billion shortfall in what they were expecting to have typically these are not just simply tweaks that they have to make in their budget in order to come up with a balanced budget in the next 3 or 4 weeks. There are going to have to be significant structural changes, but these are problems that are of their own making that we will get to pay for, just so you know. And when I say we get to pay for, I mean not just we as the taxpayers, but also we as the counties, the cities, those that rely on certain services from the state will be seeing some of these issues come to bear when they start making some of their structural cuts in the budget, and they will do everything they can to keep the things in place that created these shortfalls and cause others to have to pay for them. So beware. We'll keep an eye on this, as does our organization, Colorado Counties Incorporated, and we'll keep you up to speed. But not good news coming from our legislature, if you can believe that. Okay, that's it.
All right, thank you, sir. So now that we have the doom and the gloom out of the way, I'm bringing the good news for today. So we're finally able to really go public with this. I'm so excited about it. A press release went out nationwide this morning. Fremont County was contacted 6 or 8 months ago by producers with Viewpoint with Dennis Quaid, which is a public television program that reaches a viewership of about 85 million people. So they contacted Fremont County and said, we've seen and we've heard some really great things that are going on there with economic development, and we would like to be a part of this. We want to showcase your story. So we've been working on this. The contracts are finally all signed. We've got deadlines. that we've worked our way through. We've gotten so much information to them that they needed to have previously. And we are looking at a filming date in June, probably with a worldwide release and premiere coming up around September timeframe. So we have this big press release that just went out this morning. I've sent it to all of our local media, and hopefully you'll be able to see a lot more about this in the upcoming days. So Viewpoint with Dennis Quaid, watch for it. It's going to be a really exciting thing here for Fremont County. All right, anything else for anyone? Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mine's more informative than anything. 2 years ago, my office was inundated for phone calls from those affiliated with minor parties asking why they did not receive ballots. And so I thought I'd mention it now, getting a head start, that unless a minor party actually has somebody on a ballot, there are no ballots specific to minor party individuals. And so they do not get to participate in the primary elections when it comes to the June primaries for, so with that being said, my office is sending letters out to all the minor party individuals that are registered in Fremont County to remind them and let them know that this is in fact the case, that they will not be receiving ballots for minor party individuals, because there are none in our county and none statewide as far as we can tell. A lot of those are like Green Party, No Labels Party, Middle Party, Forward Party, etc. So if you are affiliated with one of those parties and you're wanting to participate in a primary election, the letter is in the mail to you to show you or to tell you how to change your affiliation if you would like to participate in those. So just know that those letters are from my office, and it is a real thing, and it's just to help prevent some of the complaints that are coming into the office that those voters that don't get ballots in the mail. So FYI on that. And then just as a notice for unaffiliated voters and major party voters, that county assemblies are completed. So those county designations for the offices that are up, which include commissioner, clerk, treasurer, assessor, sheriff, coroner, and surveyor, will be finalized here soon, and then we'll just be waiting on the district assemblies at the higher levels and the state assembly for the Secretary of State to be notified who will be going on for the rest of the primary ballots. So we do know for sure that we'll have Republicans and Democratic Party members on the ballots. It's just a matter of how many and who. So keep that in mind as it's coming up. And for unaffiliated voters as well, reminder, you will receive 2 ballots in the mail. You need to pick one, vote one, and return it to us. If you vote on 2 and return them to us, your vote doesn't count. So, and yes, it does happen quite a bit. So do not vote both ballots if you're an unaffiliated voter. So other than that.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Okay, ready? All right, let's move on. We have no old business today, so we jump right to new business. I would like to... Oh, we do have citizens. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Yes, we are backing up. As your county commissioners, we do value what our citizens have to say to us. We have time on every agenda for those citizens to step forward and speak to us about whatever is on their mind. We have one request this morning to speak. That comes from Kevin Mamalji of Florence. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Distinguished members of the board and county staff. Happy to be here this morning. So, of course, just kind of piggybacking on what's already been said, the generosity of Fremont County continues to amaze me. As soon as the incident, well, I shouldn't say as soon as the incident, once it went back down to 0% containment, people in the community started to kind of freak out about what was taking place up the hillside. So, so I immediately put on my community organizer hat and said, well, what can we do? So we started to raise money with the idea of supporting first responders. This was before the list of responding agencies was made available. I was thinking local, right? So I talked to Brush Hollow Winery over in Penrose, and I asked them about doing a spaghetti dinner for our first responders, thinking that would be like 40, 50 people based off our local folks. So anyways, they agreed generously to donate the space and the time and energy staff to prepare the meals and do everything on that side of things. And then as far as I'm concerned with the newspaper, I said that I would take the lead on raising some money. So we set an initial goal of $500 and just kind of put that out. Before I would say like less than 12 hours. I just mentioned it to people in passing, like who I saw at different meetings and such. And so I was able to raise $500 within the first, and it was at night. Like all this money came in at night. People were like, hey, I'll meet you in the morning. I got $350 for you. So anyways, the fundraising was going great. And then we saw that there were a lot more agencies responding from southern Colorado Springs area. So we decided to say, okay, well, let's make this a bigger thing and actually serve the 125 plus first responders that are actually on the hillside. So right now we're sitting at close to $3,000 that we've raised from the community. Those donations come in at anywhere from $5. Actually, I think I had like a $3 donation. God bless them, right? Up to $350. And that's a mix of businesses and community members. And so the initial goal was to bring them off the mountain, right? I'm not a firefighter. I'm like, come on down, kick your feet up and have some spaghetti. But I've since had a crash course of volunteering, firefighting 101. So I got up yesterday morning and I drove into Colorado Springs and I met with maybe, 15, 16 firefighters from the following agencies. The Hanover Fire Protection District, Fountain Fire Protection District, Stratmore Hills Fire District, Security Hills Fire District, and also spoke with Shane of the Southern Colorado Interagency Wildland Fire Team. And they brought me up to speed on how it was impossible for them to come off the fire line. So we're pivoting to a post-containment dinner, and that's based off of the feedback from the firefighters that I spoke to yesterday, and also I spoke to before the board of directors at Florence Fire Protection District last night. Post-containment is the consensus, so we're kind of on standby. We're going to continue to just update the community with donations and things like that. But that's where we're at. So no one, of course, can predict 100% containment. So this may be pushed back to next week. But nonetheless, all the money that we've raised will certainly go back into serving the first responders that responded to the fire. Any extra money, we're going to, of course, pitch this to the firefighters involved. If there's $500 left over, what do we want to do with that? A lot of folks are suggesting just giving that, breaking or divvying that money up to the volunteer arms of different agencies, and we'll just see how that goes. But every cent will go back into our first responders. So just wanted to bring that to you guys this morning and answer any questions that you may have.
All right, any questions?
Oh, sorry.
If folks want to help and donate, how can they?
Certainly, Facebook page is the best way to do it. We initially just started collecting checks and cash in person, but folks wanted that digital option. So we have a PayPal link on our Facebook page. I'll pin it to the top so folks that are interested in donating could certainly do that.
Whose Facebook page?
The Florence Reporter.
Florence
Thank
Reporter.
you. And I did want to just make a comment. Under Sheriff Derek Irvin was generous enough to give me a call yesterday. I was at Pathfinder Park. I dropped off some cookies from the Penrose Farm stand and a couple loaves of bread to the volunteers. Of course, they were packing up, but took them some anyways. But I got a call from the undersheriff, and he was like, "Where are you at?" I said, "I'm at Pathfinder." He said, "You want to go see the fire?" I said, "Yeah, I want to go see the fire." So he took me up into the no-go zone, right between mile marker 18 and 26, whatever it is. And so I was able to take a look at some of the damage, or it's not even really damage, the way he explained it. A lot of what you're going to see on 115 when they do reopen it is backburn,
Yep.
right? Most of the fire was over the ridge, and so it looks devastating, right? But it's, I guess, somewhat comforting to know that was all under control right along 115. But
Yep.
anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys and, thank the undersheriff for the invite. It's pretty cool.
All right, thank you for that.
I've just got one comment, Kevin. You brought it up some, but people don't realize who all's involved in this fire. It's more than the wildland firefighters. It's our local firefighters. It's our sheriff.
Absolutely.
Pueblo Sheriff's Department, El Paso County Sheriff's Department, Fort Carson. Then all of the volunteers that helped get animals out of the area to start with. The ones that were watching the animals. I mean, there's so many people involved in this. You don't realize how many, not just the 100 and some firefighters that are on the ground, but there's so many outside of that that are taking care of this and taking care of people and making sure it works right. So yeah, it's a huge deal.
Right, and that's
So-
something, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it, Commissioner. One of the things that we talked about as well is if we continue to do well on the fundraising front, we'll open that up, right? The initial ask on the fundraising piece was the firefighters, right? But I agree with you 100%, even dispatch, right? They were getting bombarded. So I would love to have them participate in this dinner as well. I consider all of them. Michael Crawl. I didn't know that the sheriffs over in El Paso and all of them are involved as well, but But yeah, it's quite the undertaking, and I've learned that over the past couple of days, and because me, as a media guy, I'm like, I want information tomorrow. And they're like, look, you know, there's a lot of different agencies trying to coordinate between it, plus you have the DOD component, which kind of adds to a little bit of the bureaucracy and putting out information.
Well, and
But
it goes deeper than that. We've got a lot of retail stores or businesses, you know, feed stores and Tractor Supply, Big R, D&K Feeds that all donated stuff to help house those animals and feed those animals. So there's so many other facets to it other than just the guys fighting fire.
Right.
However, each component of that is just as
Right.
important. So
Yeah,
thanks for
absolutely.
that, though.
Yeah,
Thanks for
certainly.
setting this up.
Yes,
certainly.
this is a perfect example of what we're sitting up here talking about, is community involvement and folks willing to step up to the plate and in a really big way say thank you. So thank you so much for that. Thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time.
All right, anyone else who would perhaps like to step to the microphone and speak? Okay, seeing none, we will move on. We have no old business today. Let's jump into new business. We're going to do something just real quickly, a little bit different, I want to explain. Our first 4 items are all proclamations. We typically do a proclamation, approve it, step down, take photos, come back up for more business. Once we've approved your proclamation today, please stay in the room. When we're done with all 4 proclamations, we will come down and do photos with everyone. So I'm asking you, please do not leave until that part is done. All right, item number 1 is a proclamation naming April as Fremont County Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. We have with us lots of folks this morning from the Department of Human Services. So let's see if we can get Charity Sellers, Scott Mitchell, Joe Roman, and Christina Storica to step up and tell us what's going on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being so patient. We've had a lot to talk about this morning.
Yes, ma'am. So I have a little thing to read, and then I will read the proclamation. So good morning, and thank you for allowing us to share this proclamation today. My name is Charity Sellers, and I, along with my team, Joe, Scott, Christina, and our supervisor, Jackie, represent the Family Assessment Response Intake Team. We are just a few of the workers who work diligently with our families in their times of need. We have opportunities daily to work with families and meet them where they are at. When possible, prevention and preventative service can benefit children and families and help decrease the need for a crisis response. When we are able to work together with our communities and invest in our children and families, we invest in brighter outcomes and strengthened communities for those we serve and our community as a whole. Families who receive support before a crisis occurs are better equipped to provide safe, healthy, and nurturing environments, leading to safer and healthier children. They can reduce the likelihood of abuse and neglect and create strong foundations for lifelong well-being. We must remember, whether we are serving a family through prevention or through a crisis response, there is always an opportunity for hope, growth, change, and healing for our children and our families. Please join us in Wear Blue Wednesdays throughout the month of April to bring awareness. Again, thank you for your time today. I will now read the proclamation for this upcoming Child Abuse Prevention Month, April 2026. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, children are key to Fremont County's future success. They are future leaders, neighbors, and employees, and will shape the future of Colorado. Whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, can have a long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout an individual's lifetime and impact future generations. Whereas prevention is possible, every child and family is filled with tremendous promise, and with strong policies and investments into our community, families and children can thrive, fostering prevention, stability, and long-term well-being. Whereas positive childhood experiences build healthy families and strong communities, and everyone benefits when we all ensure that children have positive experiences and that families have the resources they need when they need them. Whereas when parents, caregivers, family, friends, neighbors, employees, and elected leaders work together to increase the 5 critical protective factors in families' lives, that is when we can prevent child abuse. strengthen families, and build brighter childhoods. Whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families, we acknowledge that we must work together as a community and increase awareness. Together, we can create a Fremont County and Colorado invested in families. Now, therefore, the Fremont County Commissioners, by virtue of their authority vested in this board, do hereby proclaim April 2026 Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month, and in so doing, urge all citizens to join a national effort to raise awareness about the importance of preventing child abuse.
Charity, thank you so much for all of that and for talking about Wear Blue Wednesday. This is the blue ribbons that you see everywhere during the spring, right? This also is the living blue ribbon photo that we took a few weeks ago out at DHS, and we've been seeing on social media everywhere. So thank you all so much for being here. Did anyone else have anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I do have some flyers. If anybody would have some, you can put them up in your office to bring more awareness and so it can be visible.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen,
Got a motion if you're ready, Madam Chair.
let's do that.
I move to approve this proclamation naming April as Fremont County Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. Wow. I'll
Get it all in
again.
there.
Yeah,
It changes meanings if you leave out a word.
it does.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve this proclamation naming April as Fremont County Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. Further discussion? I would just like to say thank you so much for all the work that you do in DHS to help keep our children safe. You all are truly appreciated for the work you do every single day. It's not an easy job. We see that, we recognize that today, and we want everyone to know. So thank you so much. All right, let's go to approval.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is a proclamation naming the week of April 6th of 2026 as National Public Health Week. We have with us this morning Autumn Deaver, who is the Office Grant and Financial Administrator of Fremont County Department of Public Health. Good morning, Autumn.
Morning.
All right, so proclamation for National Public Health Week. Whereas the week of April 6, 2026 is National Public Health Week, and the theme is Ready, Set, Action, highlighting that public health actions occurring throughout scientific discoveries, legislation, and community initiatives have significantly improved the health of all Americans, and whereas significant strides have been made in public health since the inception of National Public Health Week in 1994, including the following public health successes. Childhood mortality, which was at a rate of 13.8 deaths per 1,000 live births in 1994, has now fallen to 5.4 deaths per 1,000 live births due to vaccines, better healthcare access, and nutrition. Smoking rates, which were as high as 25.5% among U.S. adults in 1994, have now fallen to 11.4% due to, at least in part, to increased public awareness of tobacco's health effects. Mental health awareness and treatment, with 40% of people with mental health conditions being untreated in 1994, has progressed with increased awareness and integration into primary care, which has expanded access to mental health services and reduced treatment gaps. Lead poisoning, with 4.4% of U.S. children having elevated blood levels in 1994, has now fallen to less than 0.5% due to policies banning leaded gasoline and reducing lead in paint, pipes, and water systems. And whereas a person's health status can differ drastically by zip code due to differences in the built environment, environmental quality, community context, access to healthy food, access to education, and access to health care. And whereas public health organizations use National Public Health Week to educate public policymakers, public health professionals, and the public on issues that are important to improving the health of the people of the United States. And whereas public health professionals help communities prevent, prepare for, withstand, and recover from the impact of a full range of health threats, ranging from infectious disease outbreaks to natural disaster preparedness. And whereas efforts to adequately support public health and the prevention of disease and injury can continue to transform a health system focused on treating illness into a health system focused on preventing disease and injury and promoting wellness. Now therefore, let it be proclaimed by the County Commissioners of Fremont County, by the virtue of authority vested in this board, that the week of April 6th through 12th, 2026, is hereby designated as National Public Health Week in Fremont County, and the residents of Fremont County are called upon and encouraged excuse me, to observe this week by recognizing and thanking public health professionals for their dedicated service, learning about public health challenges facing our community, supporting policies that strengthen public health infrastructure, participating in community health initiatives, and committing to personal and collective actions that advance the health and well-being of our community.
That was a mouthful, that's a
Yeah.
lot. But I think reading through the statistics from 1994 to today, that shows what public health really is for and what public health can and does do. So thank you all so much for the work that you do. I'm really happy that we have this proclamation today to be able to recognize the work that public health does. You got to a point where you said natural disaster preparedness, which reminded me that your director of public health also spent the weekend at our Emergency Operations Center. So Rick, thank you so much for being there for that as well. So there are so many different things that public health touches. A lot of folks may not even understand everything that you do every single day. But we're here today to say thank you. Thanks for bringing this forward to us.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, comments?
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. Okay, how
Sounds
about a
good.
motion?
All right. Madam Chair, I move that we approve the proclamation naming the week of April 6 through 12, 2026 as National Public Health Week.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to designate the week of April 6th through 12th of 2026 as National Public Health Week here in Fremont County. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, we turn next to a proclamation that will name the week of April 11th through 17th of 2026 as the Week of the Young Child. And we have with us this morning Cheryl Gould from the Rocky Mountain Children's Discovery Center and Dorothy Day from Early Childhood General Education Manager with Canyon City Schools. Good morning. And more.
Good morning.
And others, yeah.
We also have Chris Henniger from Head Start, and Sammy's right next to you. Sammy from Spin Star Point. Spin Star Point, and
Good morning.
Bree from Star Point also.
Thank you all so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us. So we'd like for everyone to join us in the National Association for the Education of the Young Child, or young children, in celebrating the 55th year of the Week of the Young Child. So we want to invite our educators, families, and communities to come together for the Week of the Young Child. It's a joyful celebration of early learning, young children, and the adults who support them through themed days like Music Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Artsy Thursday. These are highlights that play a critical role of play, creativity, and collaboration in child's development.
Wait, can we participate in those?
Yes,
Music Monday
come
sounds like a
in.
lot of fun.
Yes, and it's usually Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday's even better.
So it's time to recognize the importance of high-quality early childhood education and to advocate for the professionals who make it possible. Nobody can go to work without quality care, whether it's home-based, center-based, or family, friend, and neighbor. So we'd like to have the proclamation for the Week of the Young Child, April 11th through the 17th, 2026. Whereas the County of Fremont and Echo Family Center Early Childhood Council are joining together to honor child care providers and all the children of Fremont County. And whereas the first years of a child's life represent the period of the most rapid brain development and lay foundation for all future learning. Children's cognitive, physical, social, emotional, and language and literacy development are built upon positive interactions with adults, peers, and their environments, and there are approximately 2,500 children from birth through age 5 in our community alone. And whereas investing in the early years is one of the most powerful investments we can make in the future. As we come together to celebrate this special week, we affirm our commitment to providing all children with the opportunity to learn, grow, succeed, and whereas child care providers are essential to the health of our communities by fostering welcoming spaces, supporting working families, and creating positive, enriching environments where children can develop lifelong skills. And whereas Fremont County, Colorado recognizes that high-quality early childhood education depends on well-prepared early childhood educators who ensure that children supported by families have the early experiences they need for a strong foundation for life. And now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby proclaim the week of April 11th through the 17th of 2026 as Week of the Young Child in Fremont County, Colorado, and urge all citizens to recognize this annual celebration sponsored by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which highlights the importance of early childhood education from birth to age 8 and honors the educators and families who support young children every day.
Cheryl, thank you so much for that. Thanks for being here, for all of you. I think those of us who have been long-term residents here, who grew up here, who raised our children here, we all understand the importance of this. I remember decades ago when my kids were young, trying to find childcare for them, trying to find early education for them. Things have gotten a lot better, but I know that there still are struggles with that. So I just would say to all of you standing here today, thank you all so much for the work that you do in our community every single day. Anyone else like to speak to the microphone and have a word? No. No. That was quick.
The look on her face said it all.
No. Gentlemen, comments, questions?
I've got a motion if you're ready.
Motion.
Shall we comment? First of all, thank you all for being here, and Brianna hiding back there as well. You guys do great work. I'm thankful that you guys are all here and that we can have this proclamation. It's like the other ones. This is an all-year thing, but it's kind of nice to highlight them, for once a week or something like that. But we need to remember this all year round. So with that, I move to approve the proclamation naming April, which one am I on here?
Number 3.
April 11th through the 17th, 2026 for the Week of the Young Child.
Second.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve this proclamation, naming the week of April 11th through 17th of 2026 as the Week of the Young Child. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much for being here, and
Thank you,
thank you
guys.
for the work you do every single day. Our fourth and final proclamation today comes to us with Honor Flight of Southern Colorado. So we are going to have Jim Sheridan step forward. We have a proclamation that will name Saturday, April 11th of 2026 as Honor Flight of Southern Colorado Day here in Fremont County.
Yes, ma'am.
Good
Madam
morning,
Chair.
sir.
Morning, ma'am. Commissioner McFall, Commissioner Grantham, board members of Fremont County, thank you for allowing me to come in here today. And it's an honor to stand in front of you, such a great leadership we have in Fremont County, especially with the incidents that happened. I would like to say before we start on this is that I'm the first responder myself, have been for 45 years. And with this here, Fremont County stepped up, and all of our first responders out there, you were great. Everybody county was great out there doing things. Everybody was very touchy about doing things and helping out. And there's more to than just the front line. It's all the people back behind logistics and everything else that needs to be helped to help them do their job. You all done a great job. And as a first responder and retired as that, but I'm still in Fremont County Fire Protection District with Penrose, we thank you. We thank you for that.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim, and for your service, too.
Well, it's an honor, and I knew when I signed that line, I knew what I went for. And I'm here to help the community, and that's what I'm doing every day. I try as a veteran and as well as first responder. With this, today, as an honor to stand in front of you with this, I'm the president of the Honor Flight of Southern Colorado. I kind of scratched my head a little bit, and when I raised my hand, I got voted in as president at that time. So I kind of, yeah. So anyway, with this, what we do is we take and send all the veterans free of charge to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials, the World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. We also too have the Navy memorials up there, the Army, the Air Force, and now they're getting ready to get the Global War on Terrorism, as well as some others coming up, the Women's Memorial and everything there. This is free of charge to the veterans that we send up there. We have such a long list right now in the southern part of Colorado, 375 veterans on the waiting list to go. We have a flight coming up on Memorial Day weekend in May. And with this here, we have a small sponsor that's going to help us, USAA. So we get to take, they're taking 45 or 50 of them, we're taking about 65 to 70 on this one. But we're trying to make a landfall coming up in October of making a charter flight. But to make this charter flight possible, this is where it comes into, we have the Fremont County banquet for the Honor Flight of Southern Colorado on April 11th, which I know you in the past, all the board members here have been there and seen what great things we do for our veterans. Without you and the community's help on this, with the veterans on this flight, this will not be possible, because the flight itself, we're looking over $100,000, and that's for the veterans, the guardians, and the support personnel, and the rooms and the food we pay for the whole flight there. This year, it is really getting very good on this banquet. Last year, we only had about 190 people show at our banquet. This year, right now, we already have 220 seats out of 250 already sold. And I'd like to say thank you to the ones here in Fremont County and anywhere else, especially the Fremont County Board. You stepped up every year since we've been doing this, and we thank you for this. And we would like to say that any help that public can give us on this, because like I say, we're a nonprofit organization, every bit of funding we get after we pay expenses goes to flying these veterans to Washington, D.C. And it's for the World War II, the Koreans, Vietnams, and starting in January 2026, they are starting to get the Desert Storm veterans. This is one step. We're trying to catch up with the other part first. So if anybody out there has any questions on with the veterans to how to get on this flight, talk to me or catch me somehow. I'm with the VFW, I'm with the American Legion, I'm with the Elks and DAV. With that, we can get you on the list and help, but it also too needs help from the outside. It's something we need benefactors to help us. That's what we need to help and to celebrate our veterans. So, but with this, my veterans have asked me, Madam Chairperson Bell, would you read the proclamation for us, being that this is your possible last time of being able to talk to us?
That's true, it actually is. So yes, I would be honored. Thank you so much for that. This proclamation is for Honor Flight of Southern Colorado Day on April 11th of 2026. Whereas since 2005, the Honor Flight Network, a national organization of more than 130 independent hubs, working together to honor Americans' veterans with an all-expenses-paid trip to the memorials, built to honor their service and sacrifice in Washington, D.C., has taken more than 250,000 veterans to the memorials in Washington, D.C. And whereas Honor Flight of Southern Colorado is a veteran-inspired 501c3 organization with a mission to transport Southern Colorado veterans to Washington, D.C., for a 3-day trip to visit the memorials dedicated to those who have served and sacrificed for our great country. And whereas Honor Flight of Southern Colorado pays 100% of the veterans' cost, as well as the costs for medical and behavioral therapy personnel and a photographer to capture this once-in-a-lifetime trip. And whereas Honor Flight of Southern Colorado also covers the cost of each veteran's pre-flight lunch, round-trip airfare, lodging, meals, Honor Flight wear, including jacket, shirt, and hat, bus transportation, and a keepsake memento, and all of their funding comes from private donations and some corporate sponsorship. with 96% of every dollar going to costs associated with taking our veterans to Washington, D.C. And whereas, since its inception in 2011, Honor Flight of Southern Colorado has provided this unique experience to more than 350 World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War era cherished heroes, and any terminally ill veteran, regardless of their time in service. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed by the Fremont County Commissioners of Colorado that Saturday, April 11th, 2026 is hereby designated as Honor Flight of Southern Colorado Day. The County Commissioners urge all people of Fremont County to support Honor Flight of Southern Colorado, not only today, but throughout the year. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, ma'am.
We so appreciate the work that you do. We always reserve a table.
Yep.
We got that first email that it was released in, I don't know, January, February.
Yeah, you tried to start early.
We were there that day reserving our table because we want to make sure that we are involved in this. We want to be there. Again, it's truly an incredible event with a lot of these veterans themselves attending, having a chance to speak with them about the experiences that they had. And there's always pictures, right? We get a lot of photos, and those pictures are truly amazing of seeing our veterans actually being honored and seeing what has been done in their honor in our nation's amazing capital. So it's a wonderful time. Thank you so much for all of the hard work that you do putting this together.
You know what, I took the oath to take care of my brother and sisters, and that's what I do.
We appreciate that. Gentlemen?
I've got a question for you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
If someone would like to have tickets to this banquet or just make a donation, what do they need to do?
Okay, with that, on the website, I will put it on the website of the VFW, post 2788, where they can go and to do a donation, or if they want to get tickets for that there. If they happen to run into, if their seat's not available, contact me personally. We do have some room that we can add some in there, but I need to know right away for what they're wanting to do. With that, donations, we have different tiers, levels. It depends on $50, $100, whichever way. Or if it wants to be a corporate, it works that way, and we welcome anything we could get.
And the best way to get a hold of you is through the VFW
Just get
there.
a hold of me and that. I'll put my phone number over on the line here if that's okay. My phone number is a Kansas phone number, 785-317-0436. Text me, I'll get back in touch with you and let you know what we need to do, or I can meet you how we need to do it, and I'll have the paperwork there in front of me for you to take and fill out.
It also does appear as though there is information on a website, Honor Flight SoCo for Southern Colorado,
Yes,
SOCO
there too.
.net.
Yes.
Don't forget the .net, it's not a
Yep,
.com,
not
it's a
.org.
.net.
Yeah.
So information is available there. It looks as though you may be able to donate or to purchase tickets there as well.
Yes. There's a Facebook page.
And a Facebook
yes.
page as well.
Yeah.
Okay, lots of ways to get the word out.
Lots of ways to do it.
All right.
And for your gun fanatics out here, I have one special gun that's out there now. It's a Winchester Model 97 30-30 octagon barrel, Centennial 66 Golden Boy that is being live auctioned out there. So.
You're speaking our love language.
Yeah, you would say,
Yes.
But,
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jim, just to pile on, thank you for your organizing of this and helping these guys get out there to see these memorials. I've been a supporter of Honor Flight for many years, and both Southern Colorado and the Northern Colorado guys, and the efforts there. And so I really appreciate folks like you, as the chaperones, and everybody that gets to go out with them. And they foot their bill on doing that. You know, it doesn't take from the funds that are donated. Those are for the veterans.
Those great
and those chaperones sacrifice their own time, talent, and treasure to go out there with these guys to do that. And so can't forget them. I just wanted to mention, you know, Honor Flight, I think, was originally about getting those World War II veterans out there.
Yes, it was.
And it got me thinking back when I first got up to the Senate back in 2011. It was February of 2011. We got the news that the last World War I veteran, American veteran, had passed away. His name was Frank Buckles. Mm-hmm. And it was about that same time every year in February or so at the legislature, we run a series of resolutions honoring our veterans. And I remember to this day, at that time, there was only I say only, but in 2011, there was only a million World War II veterans remaining out of 16 million that served. And fast forward now to 2026, and there are estimated between 45,000 and 120,000 World War II veterans left.
Yes.
It's easy to do the math. When you're talking about somebody that served somewhere between 41 and 45, they're all approaching 100 years old right now.
Yes, they are.
And so hopefully we're still able to get some of those folks out there to see those memorials. But we do, obviously, you mentioned the Korean and Vietnam
Yes.
veterans as well. And so actually one of my good friends from church was one of the fellows that went out last year, Kerry Chapman.
Okay.
And fantastic guy, and the experience that he had brings you to tears.
You know, and funny you say that because I went in October of last year, and the stories they tell,
Yeah.
the things they relive when they're going to something like this, and it makes you feel like you was there, the way they tell it. And like you said, the feelings, you know, I'm a grown man. I've seen a lot of things, done a lot of things. But when I'm sitting there with them and go to these memorials and they start telling me this, you know, I'm just a big baby then. I mean, it gets you. It does.
Yeah.
You can put your heart out to them all the way through. And that is one thing that we had a trip prior to October. Man they called up there was Buck. Big old boy. For 50 years, he held in the guilt, the shame, because he was in charge of a team in Vietnam. He was the only one of that 12-man team that walked away. But he held that. He collapsed at the wall, but we had fellow brothers there to help him.
Yeah.
And this is what it's about, forgiving, you know, saying goodbye, finals. And that's what this is about, to sit there and let them have closure.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it gives a very warm feeling in our heart with doing this.
Yeah.
And like I said, my staff with the honor flight, we have right now an 18-member board that we just increased from 10 to 18, which actually we needed. And we all thank you for what you do here in Fremont County, not just Fremont County here, but El Paso and all around, for helping us to get these veterans to Washington, D.C. And that's one thing, that's an objective that I've set, and I know my board members have too. So we thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just one last thing before I make the motion.
Absolutely.
My apologies, Jim, I won't be able to be there on the 11th. I have something else going on with my other endeavor happening right now, and so I'll be down in Pueblo that day, but my apologies for that. I'm going to miss that and being part of that. But I think this is also a good opportunity to remind folks, talk about our veterans and patriotism, because I forgot to mention it earlier. People need to get down here and see our flags. We're pretty darn proud of our flag display here in the atrium in our county building. And actually, I just talked to one of our staff members, and we have our first school that is planning to come down for a tour of our flag display. And so,
First of what we hope to be many.
Many.
We want to get
And
them all
so,
here, yes.
and I say that for your benefit, but also for the folks still remaining here, that let folks know about what we have out here, and we'd love folks to see that. So with that, Madam Chair, if you're ready?
Yes, please.
I move to approve the proclamation naming Saturday, April 11, 2026, Honor Flight of Southern Colorado Day in Fremont County.
I second that.
It has been moved and seconded to approve this proclamation that names Saturday, April 11th of 2026 as Honor Flight of Southern Colorado Day right here in Fremont County. Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much, Jim, for everything you
Jim.
do. Thank you for being here
Thank you,
today.
sir.
And if I may ask, if I was to bring an American Legion flag and a Veterans Foreign War flag, would you bring them up there?
We will find a spot for
We
that.
will find a
Absolutely.
place.
That'd be an honor.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have which ones did you say?
American Legion, American Legion, VFW, and DAV.
Okay. I think I may have a POWMIA one as
I
well.
do have plenty of
If
them.
you have one of those, bring one of those too.
I will do that, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take some pictures. We're going to do them in the order that we approved them. So up first will be Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month.
They haven't been done yet. So the district assemblies and state assembly haven't happened.
Linda doesn't want to be up here.
National Public Health Week. Somebody's got to get over here.
Anybody else want a picture of the commissioners?
No, I'm good.
I would like an autograph.
Thank you all. Thank you. All right, thank you all so much for doing that. That made it a lot quicker that way. We do have further business to conduct before this board. Item number 5 of new business, a traffic crash dashboard presentation by Michelle Boja, our public health educator with the Fremont County Department of Public Health.
Hi, everybody.
Morning.
Thank you for letting me join you today. I'm Michelle Boscia from Public Health, and this is our traffic crash dashboard for 2021 and 2020 through 2024. It's built to support data-driven prevention, especially around impaired driving. Why this matters. Traffic crashes impact safety and quality of life across Fremont County. We know that impaired driving specifically increases crash severity and fatalities, and that's a key focus of one of our grants. This is why having access to clear, usable data is critical, so we can move beyond just reporting and actually guide prevention efforts. Next slide. What it does, this dashboard helps us quickly identify trends, high-risk areas, and impaired driving patterns to support decision-making. Next slide. So this is a screenshot of my dashboard. At the top are key metrics like crashes, fatalities, and injuries. The map shows where crashes occur, and the right panel shows trends in the top corridors of the crashes. Next slide. This is a mobile, so it is accessible through a mobile app. And next slide. We can filter by location, date, or impairment, and everything updates instantly. This allows quick analysis without creating new reports. Next slide. Here we can isolate crashes involving alcohol and drugs to understand where impairment is occurring and guide DUI prevention strategies. Next slide. And then this helps identify high-density crash areas and major corridors, showing where intervention is needed the most. Next slide. This view focuses on serious injuries and fatalities to prioritize the most critical areas for safety improvement. Next slide. And then how this can be used. This supports the Impaired Driving Awareness Grant and the DUI Task Force. It helps guide enforcement, resource allocation, and targeted prevention efforts. And then next slide. And this also improves targeting, decision-making, and strengthens funding opportunities for prevention. I went through that all really fast because we're going to do a live demonstration.
You want it?
We're gonna get drunk.
Easier.
Drinking milk and
I hope she uses what I've been teaching her about IT.
We'll see.
I'll bet she's got this.
So this is what the map looks like. Sometimes it takes a moment to load. At the very top, you have the total crashes, fatal crashes, serious injury, minor injury, and possible injury, and property damage only. We separated the possible and minor injury from a public health standpoint compared to other crash data, because that possible injury could be a minor injury or a serious injury later on. If you click through, you can look at a line graph by year, and you can also look at a bar graph for easier understanding of the data for each of the injuries and property damage. You can zoom in and click on a dot, and it'll tell you exactly the information that the police reported to the CDOT, where we got the data from. Over here, you can filter by city, town. If you click on it, it'll automatically update our map to just show those crashes in that area. And it'll automatically update the fatalities, injuries, and property damage. And you can undo that, and you can do by date range if you just want to look at specific dates. Crash severity, we can look at just our fatalities if we want. The purple in there is where all of our liquor licenses are in Fremont County. So you can actually determine how close a fatality was to a liquor store or a bar or a restaurant. You can click on more than one type of severity if you would like. Driver impairment, you can do alcohol and drugs suspected. And we use the word suspected because this is data that is collected at the time of the crash by the law enforcement that responded. You can include alcohol and drug if you want. So 9 of our fatalities out of 30 have been impairment. Or you can just do no impairment. You can do contributing factors such as distracted driving, aggressive driving, fatigue, impairment, age.
Michelle, I hate to jump in midstream and mid-thought, but all of that, what's the date range on that? And that includes everything, I would assume.
It's from January 2021 through December 2024. Okay. Our data is a year behind because we can't get the data from CDOT until September of the following year.
Okay.
So we don't have access to 2025 until
Well, I can't
September.
see. I'm blind.
It's at the very top.
There you
That
go.
is-
Thank you.
Sorry. And that is Highway 115, isn't that?
That's
That
Canyon.
one is, yeah.
That is,
Well, yeah, the back end of Highway 115 where we were zoomed in at.
this, yeah, that was 115.
Oh, you're coming down.
Yeah.
I mean, I see all that, the Christmas tree lighting up there. It makes me not want to drive home. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Sorry, I
No, you're
interrupted you.
fine. We can also look at by road conditions. And then over here, we have line graphs of total crashes by year. We have a bar graph by month, so you can tell that in Fremont County, December is our high crash month, where April is our low crash month. By day, so Friday is our worst, and Sunday is our best.
Sundays
And then
and
by time. So 5 p.m. is where our high crashes happen.
So if you leave now, it's almost
You should be
April.
okay.
You should be okay. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Just to go home.
Just need to hang out here for a couple more weeks.
And then down here, we have our top corridors. So Highway 50 is our high crash rate. And you can just go down them. 115 is next. Sometimes you'll see Royal Gorge listed as Royal Gorge or Highway 50. It just depends on what the officer listed it as in the police report. And then we also have a pie chart for the impaired driving to show you how much of the percentage of each one was drugs, alcohol, or a combination of both. So when you filter it by alcohol and drugs, that means they had both alcohol and drugs in their system at the time.
This consolidates all the law enforcement, like state patrol and sheriffs and police departments, okay?
They all report to CDOT, and we pull that data from CDOT. That was the live demo. Here's your computer.
You're hired.
Well, I did create it, so I hope I know how to use it.
Those lessons paid off.
And just, I think we just had the question slide left. So yes, do you guys have any questions for me?
This represents a lot of work,
Yeah.
a lot of hours, a lot of data collection, I think, and puts it into a really cohesive format. The thing looking at this for me is how surprised I am over a period of 4 years that we had 30 fatalities in traffic crashes here in Fremont County. I would never have guessed that high.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also clicked on the link, and the website is not an easy website. It's not like you can say, just go here and it will be there. So probably the easiest way to get to it would be through our Fremont County co.gov website.
Yes.
Go to public health, but I'm also going to see if our IT department can get a link to this maybe on our homepage to make it easier to find,
That'd be
since
great.
we're talking about it today. This is not an action item for us, but it's an awareness item. We've all seen this, we've talked about it, but we wanted to be able to bring it to the public as well, because that's what it's here for, is to let people know, give them this information, and there are probably 1,000 different ways that they can use this. So thank you so much for the work and for the presentation this morning. Gentlemen, comments, questions?
Thank you, Michelle. This is an awesome demo of this, and frightening. You look back over history, and you know when drunk driving was really an impaired driving, became more. We became more aware of it in the public eye, at least, and it became more of a thing to be frowned upon and illegal. And yet we look at that chart and go, is anyone paying attention?
Yeah.
But they drive among us, they walk among us. And so it's good to understand this, not just for, for many reasons, but thank you for the awareness brought up through this.
Yeah, a lot of hard work you've done on there, so appreciate it. It's good information to have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks so much for being here, Michelle.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is to request the issuance of a malt, vinous, and spirituous and
Now we're going to have a
good timing
We're going to change that in the deal,
special
right?
event permit
There's no drinking at your event this time.
for the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event at Colorado Shed Company at 155 Sheep Drive in Penrose, Colorado on April 9th, 2026 from 4 to 8 p.m.
Kevin, stay home on the 9th.
No, I'm staying home on the
We have with us this morning Emmy Dennehy from the Chamber. Good morning, Emmy.
Good morning.
We do apologize for the terrible timing.
Oh, I know. We limit our drinking to 2.
Okay, thank you for that.
Over a 2-hour.
With food. You
With
also
food.
serve
We always
food.
serve food as well.
And non-alcoholic
And we
beverages
offer
as well.
mocktails.
Okay, that's right. Okay, it sounds like this could be one of your monthly business after hours events.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yes, we are trying to, beautiful diagram. We're trying to reach out to more of our businesses, not just in Canyon City or that. So they were gracious enough to offer their location for it. What's neat is we're actually going to host business after hours in their production area. So they're going to do some clearing out in that. And so it'll be a good time to showcase the local business, see what they do, and the neat buildings that they're offering.
And this is located near the Fremont County Airport, correct?
Yes, we're out of
Yes,
the airport,
okay.
so kind of close to Penrose.
Okay, so can you talk just a little bit about who will be serving, have they been trained, and how will you ensure that no one under the age of 21 will be drinking?
Yes, so it's usually not, we usually don't have children there, business owners. We've all taken the training through the city for the alcohol. It's our ambassadors and volunteers.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for Emmy?
No?
No.
No? Issues? I would like to thank you for your patience. It's been a relatively long meeting. We've had a lot of things happening. I would say we like to have our county employees do all of their presentations because they need to get back to work. So then we have others at the end as well. So anything else for Emmy?
I have a motion.
Motion, yes, please.
I move to
Would
approve.
you like a staff report
Oh, yeah, I guess
first?
we should have a staff report.
Or maybe we should do that.
I know you guys want to get the meeting over, but
All right, yes, let's turn to our county clerk for a staff report.
thank you, Madam Chair. Let's see here. It's been a while since I've given one of these. The application was submitted on time. We sent the information to the county attorney, of which he approves, along with the health department and the sheriff's office. They both approve. So as the clerk's office, we see no issues with any of the paperwork, and with everybody else recommending approval, so do we.
Thank you for that most excellent report, sir. We appreciate that. That will help us make a decision.
I was leaning the other way for a minute.
Any questions for Mr. Grantham?
Nope.
Any comments? How about a motion?
I've got a motion.
Okay, let's do that.
I move to approve. Gotta find it on my paper again. This malt, venison, spirituous, fermented malt beverage special events permit for Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance for an event at Colorado Shed Company, 155 Shoop Drive, Penrose, on April 9th, 2026, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve this special event permit for a business after hours sponsored by the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, good luck with your event. Item 7 under new business today is the recognition of a Perfect Performance Award on the second 2025 application audit. And we're going to have our Public Health Director, Rick Gutierrez, step forward and give us a little bit of information on this. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning. Turn that mic on, Rick.
Mic back on. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Today, we would like to recognize 3 employees from Fremont County Department of Public Health and Environment's Vital Records Office, Linda Sand, Michelle Boscia, and Autumn Deaver. Throughout the last year, these employees have processed nearly 1,200 birth certificates and over 4,000 death certificates. As part of this process, their work is reviewed by the State Office of Vital Statistics to ensure consistent practices across all offices. This review process consists of checking applications for completeness and accuracy, ensuring proper proof of relationship is provided, and correctly entering information into the state's vital records keeping system. As a result of these individuals' hard work in completing the aforementioned task, we recently received a Perfect Performance Award for scoring 100% on our most recent application audit. As we all know, perfection is not an easy accomplishment. I take great pride in working with those who have helped bring such recognition to Fremont County.
Thank you so much
if I
for
can
that,
get you
Rick.
guys to come up.
Yes, if you would all step forward. I would point out the award itself has a quote on it that says, "Your attitude almost always determines your altitude in life." And I think that's so true. We have folks with our Department of Public Health who have incredible attitudes towards their work every single day. We so appreciate what you guys do. Congratulations on getting this award. I'm guessing it's not an easy one to receive 100% on this audit.
No.
Yes. All right. Words of wisdom, would anyone like to speak?
Linda?
Nope. No, thank you. Okay, well, I think we need to come down and take a quick picture.
All right.
So let's get that.
Thanks, guys.
Sasquatch.
Debbie likes taking pictures from us. We go down there all the time.
Oh, yeah,
We're going to take pictures with Michael, too, and he gets
Yes, you are.
we could.
Prepare now.
I just would like to say that we really enjoy lifting up our employees who are doing such an incredible job. We know that, we see it every single day, we understand it, but the public may not have the opportunity to see that and to know it and to understand it. So that's why we like to bring employees here to actually let folks know you're doing a great job. So thank you all for that. Okay, we have a series of awarding bids for road construction materials for this year. We have with us this morning Michael Witt, the Director of the Fremont County Department of Transportation, also the water truck guy.
And the water truck.
Yes, he spent his entire weekend up there on that fire hauling water
We did that.
and helping out where he could. Thank you so much for
Yep,
that, Mike.
absolutely.
Are we going to get a picture with him after this?
Well,
too?
we could.
Why not?
So this year, we're only going to do one award due to the other two projects that we've got, the county airport and the 225 bridge on Phantom Canyon. So the only award we're asking for this year is Fremont County Department of Transportation recommends the award of bid as follows: Dust Guard liquid supplied from Envirotech Services LLC, storage yard in Florence, Colorado, at $1.07 a gallon, and FCDOT will apply material to the roads.
Okay, so rather than the series that we generally have, we just have the one
Yep,
today.
we're not doing any big asphalt paving jobs or anything like that this year, so
All
just
right.
the one mag chloride this year.
All right, questions for Mike? Comments? Motion?
I can't open my computer, so go for it.
Well, this is for the dust
Need
suppressant,
IT
right?
down there.
Yes, sir.
So Tony's on the way. He's going to help you.
He'll fix it.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the bid for $1.07
Yes, sir.
per gallon to GMCO for the Dust Guard liquid supplied from Envirotech Services LLC. Is that to be stored in Florence?
Stored in Florence, picked up by us and applied by us, yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can second that, and I will. Second that.
All right. Mike, thanks for being here and for hanging in through this meeting. We do have a motion on the floor to award a dust suppressant bid from Envirotech Services LLC storage yard in Florence to GMCO. This is for $1.07 a gallon, and our Department of Transportation will pick up and apply the material to roads. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham. Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
You guys are doing a
Thanks,
great
Mike.
job. We appreciate you.
Wait, picture.
We could do that later. The final item of new business that we have on our agenda today is the consideration of an extension of the local disaster declaration regarding the 24 fire wildland fire. And I would like to turn this morning to our Fremont County Attorney, Eric Bellis, for a word about what we're doing here. Morning, Eric.
Good morning. Good morning. We did, as we talked about earlier, we did declare a local disaster over the weekend, on Friday actually, retroactive to the beginning of the fire, which was actually a week ago today on St. Patrick's Day. We can only declare that initial declaration effective for 7 days, so it does expire today. And of course, the question is whether we need to extend that. We were very fortunate with this fire. I certainly anticipated on Friday that we would need to extend it, anticipated extending it, but it does look like, and consulting with our emergency management director, Michael Kroll, that we are very close to wrapping up at least the county's involvement in this fire. We have demobilized most county services at this point, and it does not appear that we need to extend the local disaster declaration at this time.
Okay, so this just now automatically becomes an item of no action. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else from anyone? All right, there being no further business to come before this board, we are adjourned.